Now it's time to roast the critics who gave Lilo and Stitch a rotten score. Jim Lane from Sacramento News and Review says, the worst ever Disney animated feature. Yes, even worse than The Black Cauldron. He's saying that Lilo and Stitch is worse than Saludos Amigos, The Three Caballeros, Make Mine Music, Fun and Fancy Free. Like, these are literal cash grabs. They basically took Saturday morning cartoons, crammed a whole bunch of them, and called it a movie. So that Disney can put the money toward his parks and his live action movies. Literal cash grabs. Jim Lane needs to stay in his lane. That's stupid. That was stupid. David Levine from Film Critic, the music is uninspired and the animation is generic. Well, in saying that the music is uninspired, why don't you just go on ahead and take that up to the king of rock himself? Elvis literally is the soundtrack for this movie. He is the music for this movie. James Berardinelli from Real Reviews says, this movie represents a low point in Disney animation, occasionally resembling a high-budget Saturday morning cartoon. You have to know the history here. I do believe that the animation had the potential to be much better. The president of Disney at the time was Michael Eisner. Somehow he got it in his head to close the animation department down indefinitely at Walt Disney Studios. And so you can see the story quality drop, the art quality drop, because they just weren't investing as much in the Walt Disney animated features. Do not pin that on the people that worked on this movie. They actually did a really good job with the little that they had. And the cool thing is, it dares to be original. Something that I've always really liked about Lilo and Stitch. The best part of this movie, I think, is if you go to the opening credits, it doesn't say based on a book or just simply produced by or story by. It says based on an idea by Chris Sanders. Why don't we see more of this? They were going for full-on hardcore originality here. And I respect that. And going forward, I would love to see movies open up the credits with something like based on an idea from the cafeteria lady. If we really believe that great ideas can come from anywhere, let's really put our money where our mouth is. Kip Bowen from Hollywood.com says, maybe someday, just once, a Disney animated film will surprise us. Did you miss The Little Mermaid? Hercules? Emperor's New Groove? Like, I'm not even pointing out the obvious ones. But if you look at the gravity of what Kit is saying here, none of those movies matter. None of those movies are good. And I don't even know how far back she's taken it. Is she throwing Pinocchio and Snow White and Robin Hood in there? I mean, that's kind of nuts. So Kit, I think you just need to be honest with yourself. Don't kid around anymore, Kit. I think you need to just admit that you do not like animated movies. That's perfectly fine. Just own it and then move on. That frees you literally from seeing any animated movie ever. So Kit, you're welcome. No Name account gives it 1 star. It says, inconsistencies, unexplainable plot devices, not inexplicable, and things that don't make sense are throughout the film. Lilo's sister isn't likable either. It's a children's cartoon. What can I say? If you want your children to see something that is sensical, it's logical, it's got very few plot holes, it's sophisticated enough, just plop your kid down in front of Frost Nixon. And about Lilo's sister being unlikable, you'd be unlikable too. If your parents died and you had to look after your younger sibling and could never have time for a dating life, and your sibling adopts some ugly little gremlin and you're trying to protect her from CPS, and the sister does not have it easy in this movie. And so to me, that makes me like her, because she's hanging in there. She's not running away from her problems. She's actually embracing them and just making the best of this crappy life that she's been handed. All right, the most honest review comes from Paula Michak from Seattle Post-Intelligencer. Paula says that Lilo and Stitch is a movie that demonstrates to kids that family doesn't necessarily mean blood and ties, and that rarely panders to kids' sensibilities. So yeah, well said, Paula. All right, take it easy. Bye. Richard Roper from Ebert and Roper